Hey, what's up, everybody? The 2024 camping season is quickly coming to a close, and that means it was time for us to gather for our 2024 Pacific Northwest Rpod gathering. We returned for a second year to Fort Stevens State Park in the very northwest corner of Oregon from September 12th through the 15th. This year we had 90 attendees and 43 Rpods attending the rally from as far away as Southern California. I'm a big fan of these rallies because we share ideas, travel experiences, and our passion for camping. Here's an example. We spent time discussing our electrical systems, and what I learned from my converter failure from last year actually helped out other attendees who are having a similar problem right now. Now, to see my converter failure story, follow the link at the upper right. This is my good friend Terrell sharing a great safety idea that probably cost about 50 cents.
See the gutter up there? It drips right over your electrical.
Right down.
Yeah, so check this out. Check this out.
Cut a swimming noodle right in half. That's it.
And that works. That is brilliant.
Tested many times.
Another good friend, Dave, showed me how he created pullouts in their Rpod, making use of every square inch of cabinet space. The organizers asked if I would make a presentation as part of the event, and I decided to host an open house highlighting the mods I've made to my 2019 Rpod Model 180 Hood River Edition. In prep, I made tags identifying the mods and counted 44. Hard to believe, but there it is. At the event, I stuck the tags all around my Rpod and let folks wander around in and outside the trailer and ask questions if they had interest in any of the mods I've done. This is a walk-around tour of my many mods, as you would have seen them if you had been at the event. So we'll start on the exterior. The Park Hopper has custom decals, which were not very expensive. Now, I'm not sponsored, but I'll tell you I got them online from Direct Decals. If you can design your own decal like I did here, and then send it electronically to them, they'll create a vinyl decal for you and mail it right back to you in a tube. They are really easy to apply. Next, moving to the door, I installed a keypad electronic lock. This is a game changer for sure, not having to carry keys anymore once I'm settled at camp, and not having to worry about losing my keys. I only have to worry about losing my mind. Inside this exterior cargo cabinet, I was able to locate the wires leading from the solar plug-in and install an inline solar controller. Remember, if you have a solar panel, you need a controller so that the solar panel doesn't overcharge your batteries. Last year, the plastic channel cover pretty much disintegrated, so I replaced it with a heavy-duty vinyl. I was leaving on a 15,000-mile trip across the USA after all. You can get 1-inch vinyl cover from Amazon. Moving around to the hookup side of the Rpod, these are my water mods. The city water connection failed and caused a slow leak in my trailer, and I noticed this at Palm Springs last year on my cross-country trip. So I replaced the plastic connector with a brass connector. On the low point drain valves, I cut off the white screw-on end caps and installed shark bite valves. So instead of having to unscrew those white plastic caps to drain the hot and cold lines, now all I have to do is turn the valve lever. I did the same for the fresh water tank drain, which was a screw-in cap way underneath the trailer, very hard to get to. I used PVC connections so I can easily drain the fresh tank by turning the little blue valve lever that you see here. Video editing requires fully charged electronics, so I added a second lead-acid battery. When these batteries fail, I'll upgrade to lithium. And then what fun camping gathering with friends is not complete without some party lights. These are connected to the battery via the power center, which you will see inside the trailer, and controlled via Bluetooth using an app on my phone. Just above that is a stainless steel bar that I got from IKEA with 3 hooks. I use this for hanging the dog leash, wet towels or clothes, or decorations. Stay tuned for my next video and you'll see a ghost ship cannon hanging off of this bar. Very versatile and handy. In a complete vanity move, I replaced the rims to match the tow vehicle, my trusty Toyota Tacoma. I also have a tire pressure monitoring system on all 6 wheels touching the road. Last year when I was just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, I got a flat and the TPMS system really helped me with advance warning so that I could pull over in a safe place rather than right beside the freeway. Alrighty, moving inside now, I moved the magazine rack from behind the toilet to this location, which makes it much more functional and useful. It holds my broom and some shoes. Many of you have seen my video showing how I recovered over a cubic foot of dead space by remodeling the pantry. There was a false wall in the back of the pantry that is easily removed. So check out that video to see how I did it. I replaced the fan motor recently after the original motor went kaput. Kinda expensive actually. I couldn't find a Max Air fan motor for less than $100. I got it from eTrailer.com. The stock interior paint was an eggshell white and I changed it to a beigeish color to match the bedspread and the wallpaper. I found these handles and drawer pulls on a 2020 trip to Colorado and I had to have them. Of course the holes were about a 1/4 inch off, so I had to drill all new holes and stain the old holes to hide them. Kind of a pain, but worth it. I converted the two-person dinette into a single work surface. With all the video editing and cooking that I do, I valued the counter space. Besides that, underneath the work surface where the table used to be, the perfect place for a dog bed. When there's two of us camping, we used to run cords for recharging phones and other stuff. That is until I added this AC outlet with USB plug-ins. The gray plug there powers the electric blanket. One time I was in a torrential downpour and needed to turn on the hot water switch. I got tired of having to go outside to turn it on, so I moved the switch to this location. Yep, there's a video on that. Haven't you subscribed to my channel yet? Under the bed in this space, I installed an insulated screen to deflect the heat from the furnace, and on the opposite side found the perfect tote for storage. I converted the dinette seats into hinged panels. On this side, it gives me easy access to extra storage space around the drawer, and on the other side, it gives me easy access to the electrical systems. Now let's go over there and have a look, and on the way, you can see Athena's bed. And here we are at the electrical hub. 3 mods here to note. First, I added a 300 watt inverter into the cabinet, and that powers an outlet on the work surface so I can run AC electrical for small appliances and recharge my laptop. The cabinet also houses a Bluetooth battery monitor that connects to an app on my phone so I can monitor battery supply. The third mod here was upgrading the power center so that it is lithium ready. The stock power center on my Rpod was only compatible with lead acid batteries. So, all by myself and self-taught, I replaced it before the 2024 camping season. Now I'm ready for lithium batteries when that time comes. Yep, there's a video on this. Okay, over to the kitchen. I love to cook, so I really didn't like the original kitchen setup. The sink was too small and the glass back for the stove blocked access to all that counter space back there. The dual handle faucet blocked placement of a dish rack and took up valuable counter space. So I changed all of that. I put in a larger sink, replaced the glass stovetop with a cover that can be easily moved, and by the way, that cover is Formica on one side and a cutting board on the other. And I built a small fold-down counter extension to hold the dish rack, and it drains perfectly right into the sink. Much better setup for the camp chef. Did you know that propane alarms fail after a few years, meaning that they just start beeping incessantly until you disconnect and replace it? That happened to me in 2024. I guess 5 years is it, and it just started beeping and beeping. If you read the fine print on the front of the propane alarm, you can see that the type of alarm it is sounding means, "I'm dead, replace me." And so I did. Now the beeping would not stop until I cut the wires. So this became a "I guess I'm doing this today" project. Above the kitchen, yes, I replaced that annoyingly small cabinet door with a custom full-length cabinet door. And yes, my channel has a video on that. These LED lights were a nice add. Set the mood or set them to flash to the music. I also added storage baskets above the oven. It's easy to grab a towel or a hot pad from up there. Everyone seemed to love the log cabin wallpaper. I always wanted to live in a log cabin, and now I sort of get to. Unfortunately, this wallpaper is no longer available on Amazon, but I'm sure with some hunting you can find some of your own that will work out in your rig. I replaced the tinny stock speakers with these from Polk Audio. Better speakers means more magnet space is needed, so I had to install 1/2-inch spacer rings to give the speaker more space for its magnet. The sound inside the Rpod is much better now. Okay, into the bathroom. The large plastic stock sink was bigger than we needed, since we only use the sink for brushing teeth and washing hands. So we got a small sink and redid the countertop. We also moved the outlet from the front of the sink to this location. The benefit is that there is now a nice amount of counter space in the bathroom for clothes and towels, etc. And with the basin sink gone, I put a shelf in under the sink, and that entire space is perfect storage space. On the other side of the bathroom, I installed a basket pull-out in the alcove. I got this from the Container Store, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. I use that bungee there to hold it secure while I'm towing. Okay, moving out for the final mod of our tour. This is a good reminder to please subscribe to my channel and check out my library of videos for more detail on many of the mods you've seen here today. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll be sure to respond promptly. Okay, the final mod, of course, is the TV on a rail. The TV here moves back and forth across the cabin on a closet rail. This makes it usable as a TV when laying in bed, but also as an external monitor when working at the work surface. This is maybe what I consider my most clever mod. At these gatherings, sure, we spend a lot of time sharing ideas and travel experiences, but I think this year my favorite part was just spending time with friends and hanging out and catching up on life. I love spending time around the fire, catching up at our pie iron cookouts, and one afternoon several of us took a tour together of the military areas of Fort Stevens in the back of a troop transport. That was pretty fun.
Columbia combined with Fort Stevens to form what was called a triangle of fire. They're east well behind the main guns of the fort because of their unique firing method. Unlike rifles, mortars fire in a high arc. Their shells would rain down on the unprotected wooden decks of enemy ships.
Hey, big thanks and shout out to our hosts Stephanie and Laura, who've been organizing this event for the past couple years. Here they are standing amidst prizes and gifts that they bring for each trailer. Can you imagine how much work it is to organize and coordinate this event? They work really hard in the off season so that we can just show up, have a great time, renew friendships, and enjoy the great outdoors.
It's been a great Rpod gathering. We've had such a fun time together. And next year we will be at a different location because Fort Astoria is going to be, or Fort Stevens, excuse me, Fort Stevens is going to be undergoing some renovation to improve its electrical, water systems, and the bathrooms. So who knows where we'll be next year, but it'll sure be a fun time to gather with friends, share ideas and adventures. So until the next time I see you here on my channel, have a great time, be safe out there, and enjoy. Bye.